actually pretty perfect. It's perfect because I'm going to talk about the messiness of the behind the scenes. I'm going to talk about the messiness of the behind the scenes. And what's hilarious is that I was running behind just now, like doing my makeup. My hair wasn't ready. I was right in the middle of a very powerful, transformational experience. And I was like, well, this has to complete before I go live. And then I was like, I'm not ready to go live. I'm not ready to go live. And it was really amazing to feel that fear of not being ready, everything being a bit messy, being late, you know. And so it was absolutely the right energy to come on to you with right now. So it's super nice that many of you are joining me. I'm going to share a lot of behind the scenes of my journey, of what I do on a daily basis, of the failures, of the mess, of the fears, of the deep wounds. And I'm really going to go into a lot of that because I am pretty aware that I tend to forget to share the behind the scenes. I tend to forget to share the behind the scenes. So as we are just warming up, what I want to ask you is that when you're late and you either have a choice of getting your hair in a good place or getting your makeup in a good place, what do you go for? Is it hair or makeup? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested because this was exactly my dilemma before going live. Is it hair or makeup? When you've got literally no time, no space, what is it that you focus on before you leave the house or before you go live, if you go live, or what is it that you focus on? Let me know. And also let me know where you are. Let me know where you are. Makeup. So makeup or hair. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I feel like the more successful we become on paper anyway, the more successful we become, the more fearful we are of being seen, being found out, being exposed, being rejected is such a big one, isn't it? Being rejected. So super nice. I'm going to go straight in. Thank you for all your beautiful shares so far. If you are just joining, there are some really powerful lives that I did the last couple of weeks. And if you're watching on Instagram, they are in the Reels section. Super nice to see you. Yeah, makeup, hair, makeup. If you're just joining, my question is, if you are running late and you've got no time to get ready, what do you focus on? Your makeup or your hair? What is it? And I was focusing on my makeup, and then one of these brows became really dark and black, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I've got to take this brow off and I can't do my hair. And so it's perfect because I wanted to show up for you in the energy of imperfection, messiness, running late, not preparing, because I want you to realize that life and business happens when you're surrendering to the messiness. Business success and life success happens when you're okay with the imperfections, and you're okay with the messiness, and you're okay with your hair being a mess, and you're okay with being a little bit late, and you're okay with no one showing up. And that's one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about, actually. So today on this live, I am revealing some really deep, dark stuff about my journey because I feel like it's important for me to share this stuff because I don't do that enough. And I want you to get to know me a little bit more, and I hope that I'll get to know you a little bit more as well. So I wanted to just see what wants to be shared, and I hope that it's gonna support you to hear that, you know, even though I have been doing this job, being in this career, being in this business since 2013, you know, it has been one absolute hell of a journey. And, you know, we experience the same stuff coming up at new levels and at different levels, and you think you've dealt with it, and then suddenly you realize that it's still there, but it needs to be addressed in a different way. And one thing I can say about myself with absolute ownership is that I am not afraid to do the work that it takes to become a really powerful leader. I am not afraid to dive into the darkness. I'm not afraid to face myself. I'm not afraid to look at my wounding all day long. I'm not afraid to go into deep rejection fears. I'm not afraid to feel the pain of unacknowledgement. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid. There's not a lot that you could throw at me that I would not be afraid to address. And I feel like that is quite rare, because who wants to experience rejection? Like, it is literally like a knife in your chest, right? Who wants to experience rejection? Who wants to experience failure? Who wants to experience being told no? Who wants to experience no one showing up? Who wants to experience people judging you, criticizing you? Like, none of that is appealing in any way, shape or form. But the problem is that if you are, without realizing it, if you're avoiding moving forwards in your career and your business and life, if you're avoiding, you know, moving forwards, if you're avoiding having powerful conversations with new people, if you're avoiding networking in rooms that you know you want to be in, if you're avoiding employing the right PR agency to help you spread the message, if you're avoiding employing the right mentor or business strategist to help you because you keep telling yourself you're not ready yet, or because you keep telling yourself that's not going to happen for me, or because you keep telling yourself that the right audience are never going to find you, etc., 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 then you are never, ever going to allow yourself to stand in that level of success and financial flow and abundance and that lifestyle that you know deep down that you are really wanting to experience. You know deep down that your soul's wanting to experience that. You know, one of the risky things about business and growing your business and growing your career is that there's, I was going to swear, but like, there's absolutely no guarantee of success. There's absolutely no guarantee of certainty of success. There's absolutely no guarantee that you're going to make millions. There's absolutely no guarantee that your parents are going to turn around to you, Suzanne, and say, Suzanne, you did it. Good job. I recognize you. Congratulations. There's no guarantee of any of that. So like me, you've got to want that lifestyle. You've got to want that discovery of your purpose, that legacy. You've got to want to set yourself free enough to continue to persist with your self-growth journey. And you've got to want the light at the end of the tunnel more than the fear of the pain that you might need to feel in order to experience the light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you've been following me for a while, and some of you have, and it's really nice to see some of you back again, because I know that I've been a bit AWOL focusing on other businesses and other parts of my business, and I'm back now, and it feels super good to be back. But if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I'm someone who really is not afraid to face the stuff that most people avoid facing. You know, the thing is that so many people, not saying you, but so many people are so scared to do the work, and they check out because they're so scared to do the work. They'd rather scroll endlessly on Instagram. They would rather avoid doing the work because it's so scary to do the work. But the thing that sets the great leaders apart from you, let's say, is that they are not afraid to do the work. And even if they are afraid to do the work, they still do the work. So I'm not going to tell you that there haven't been some incredibly dark moments in my career and my business where I have given up. You know, where I have cried, where I have woke up in the morning worrying about like how it's gonna happen, when I have been so scared of losing all of the money from my bank account. There have been so many dark moments where I have just been avoiding the pain of being rejected. So that means basically that I have held back the growth of my business because the fear of facing the pain of being told no and being rejected, and the fear of feeling the pain of like no one showing up, no one signing up for new things that I have ideas for. I have seriously avoided growing the business, definitely parts of the business, in, you know, the last few years, even say, because I've been so afraid of the fear of rejection. And I have to say that I have, with absolute honesty and truth, experienced a lot of success in the last 4 years. Like, I've experienced a lot of growth, a lot of success. I've served 100,000 people in one of my businesses. Like, there's been a lot of success, and yet I've still been aware that what I've been avoiding is the next level of success, right? Super aware. So the thing that got me to serve 100,000 people in the first place was this fearlessness around feeling the pain and the fear of rejection, or feeling the pain of, like, you know, no one showing up, no one signing up, feeling the fear of being absolutely worthless, being seen as being absolutely worthless. You know, the fear of people judging me because, like, who am I to talk about money when I'm not making 9 figures yet? You know, like, there's so much that we are avoiding facing and feeling because the mind is telling us that the fear is going to be too strong, right? The fear is going to be too great, that we're not capable of feeling the fear, you know. And this popped up to share, actually. I don't know, see if this resonates, but one of my biggest fears, one of my biggest fears, and one of my biggest fears, but one of my biggest blocks to let go of, has been the workaholism. Like, one of my, like, if I do things in a different way, if I let go of the addiction to doing, if I let go of that energy of needing to do everything, even though I've got my team there, but if I literally let go of micromanaging my team, and I completely let go, I'm not going to see any success in my business. That's been my biggest fear. One of my biggest identities to dissolve has been, well, you know, like, I talk about this a lot, you know, it's like, if I cannot be seen to be doing all the time, then I'm not gonna I'm not going to experience the level of success that I know that I'm capable of experiencing. And so my business is going to fail. And then my husband's going to leave me. And then my parents are going to look at me in disgust. And then, you know, this is where the mind goes, right? This is where the mind goes. And so I've been vehemently holding on to this identity of being the one that has to do and suffer and struggle in order to experience success. Like, I've been experiencing that identity for the longest time. And the thing is, like you've probably heard me say before, it's given me a lot of success. As a woman in business, it's given me a lot of success being the one that does it all, delivers it all, hustles it all, manages everyone. You know, it's given me a lot of success. So it's been the hardest identity to dissolve. It's been the biggest block for me in my business. But really, the biggest fear that was behind all of that, see if you relate, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you do, just pop a yes, is the fear of the void inside of me. And the void inside of me is being, which is the exact opposite of doing, isn't it? So it's like, if I experience being, then who am I? Because I have been a hustler my whole life. I've made stuff happen. I've made a lot of money making stuff happen. My ego has seen a lot of success making stuff happen. Maybe I developed a bit of a superiority complex, you know, in the past, because my ego's telling me, well, Jodie, you've been doing this for so long now, and these other people who say that they're like you have been doing it for a weekend and being certified, and you've been doing it a lot longer, so you're far more superior than everybody else. You know, the ego is so friggin' tricky, isn't it? The ego is so tricky. So the ego mind keeps you in this identity of gotta hustle, gotta do, gotta join all these masterminds, gotta invest loads of money, gotta make sure that, you know, I'm seen to be like making 300K in a month. Like, that is ego. It's all ego. It's all ego. And I truly know that we are, as women, deeply afraid of this void inside us. And you see this in women who are extraordinarily successful. Like, I'm talking like they're making 9 figures, 10 figures in revenue, billions. These women are making billions for not only themselves, but also other people's businesses. Like, you know, you see this in the women at that level. They are desperately, they don't realize it, by the way, at all, but they are desperately afraid of the void inside them, which is actually all about being. Now, the thing about being is that actually women, as you know, I've spoken about this so many times, women are meant to do business in a different way. We're meant to have a harmonious balance of doing and being. But if we're afraid of being, because we're so heavily programmed to believe that when we're being, we're not doing, and therefore we're not gonna, you know, receive success, we're not gonna receive millions and millions and millions, and like all of that stuff, we can go into the void of being and it won't work out for us. It will not work out for us. And then it's even more evidence to tell us that, you see, it doesn't work. Everything Jodie's telling me doesn't work. And so if we are not, you know, if we haven't experienced everything we're running away from in that void and felt it in our nervous system and experienced it viscerally and somatically, then we will create failure from the being. We'll create a very passive life, a very passive existence. We'll be just like waiting on the fence. Like, see, Jodie told me to be in my life and it's not working. Like, no clients are coming in, like no consultancy proposals are being signed. You see, the team are all letting me down. I'm just being like the queen on the sofa and it's not working. It's not working because you have this subconscious fear of being. And that's been my biggest identity dissolution that I have had to overcome. But there is so much growth on the other side of that. And what exactly are we talking about here? You know, I'm revealing a lot about my pains, my fears, you know, my woundings, the fact that I am someone who's very proud to say that I'm not afraid to face myself. I'm not afraid to face the fear of humiliation, the fear of being rejected, the fear, all of that. And I'm also going to tell you that even though I may have dissolved all these fears at the level I'm currently at, I'm still working on these fears at the next level, because I'm still on some level trying to avoid all of this stuff. And you know, this is life. This is the dark and the light. This is the shadow integration. This is the psychological integration. This is the work that so many of us have to do, because some of us are light chasers. Like, we just want to chase success and we want to be in the vision board energy all the time, and we don't, you know, everything's great all the time. It's all good. See, I'm great and I channel the highest vision all the time, and and I'm making millions. That light seeker energy is avoiding the real human visceral rawness that needs to be integrated. Or you're someone who wallows in the darkness, in the victim, like, or you manifest illness. Like, there's a lot of very high performing women that I'm working with right now who are manifesting illness, like big illnesses, like hospitalization, like quite a few of them actually. And it's very interesting to observe, because I know that they don't need the illness or the hospitalization in order to rise. But, you know, it's my interpretation is that when you're at the level that they're at and you're making like 100 million in revenue and plus, the fear of the next level after that is so much greater that you will manifest a drama that is equally great as the next level of success, because that drama that you manifest and create is necessary to pull you down to that same level and keep you there. And come on, as women, haven't we imprisoned ourselves enough? You know, haven't we avoided facing the stuff that we've been afraid of for so long? Like, I mean, how much longer are you going to keep avoiding it? You know, it's really interesting. What I was really tuning into earlier is like, so many people are saying to me, oh, I'm not ready yet, Jodie, you know, like, I'm not ready for your power. I'm not ready for everything that you're offering, because like, I'm not there yet. And it's like, it's not about that. It's really that you're afraid of the evolution that needs to take place. And the problem is that so many of us do not trust the path of evolution until we start to see tangible proof and evidence. And the problem with that is that you're going to be waiting another 10 years to see tangible proof and evidence, because it doesn't exist. What you need to do is create an absolute foundational trust and certainty in your system, in your nervous system, in order to collapse the gap, so that it doesn't even matter if you start seeing tangible evidence. You've already gone into that energy of, this is certain, it's true, it's here, it's happening already. I can feel my next lifestyle, business shift is already creeping towards me. I can literally feel it. It's only a matter of time, right? And I don't need to wait to see the tangible proof. And what are we talking about? We're talking about energetics. And this is what I've been talking about for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. And now it's seeping into the business world step by step, because it's very important and very necessary. So I've revealed a lot. Let me just look at there's a couple of things that came through because I wanted to just share. Yeah. Something one of my mentors reminded me of 2 days ago on the 8th of September was the importance of laughing our way through the heaviness, the importance of laughing our way through the fears, the importance of laughing our way through, you know, the stuff that's weighing us down and keeping us awake at night. Like the importance of laughing through that, you know, like what if we were just laughing through it? What if our intention was having laughter, more laughter as we laugh our way through these fears that we're so deeply afraid of? Like I've shared one of my biggest, and let me just reshare for those of you that are joining, and let me hear myself say it again out loud. one of the biggest things that I guess I've been afraid of is, well, it's the allowance of support. Like not just support at the base level, but it's the allowance of like absolute dream team level support, like literally to the point where I walk through the door, my coat's taken care of, there's a mug of coffee given to me, I jump on the helicopter, I jump on the private jet. Like I am so supported in my existence by the creation field, by the universe, by my clients, by my absolute dream team, by all of the most powerful people around me who are literally allowing me to be that queen that I know I am. And my fear of allowing that level of support in, because what does that then mean? Well, that means that I will have so much space. And that means I will have so much freedom. And I feel my heart racing as I'm speaking, but equally chills at the same time. And I will have so much room that I will be able to absolutely access this absolute next level of impact. And this is close to happening, by the way. I just gotta allow it. But I've been avoiding that allowance because what does it say about my ego? What does it say about my identity? Well, it starts to really compromise the identity in me, the ego in me that has like really grafted to be where I am right now. It starts to compromise, you know, my ego. It starts to compromise my mind. It's like, it's amazing. And I speak very, very quickly when I'm excited. So I'm not going to take a breath because it feels completely right to flow. So this is exactly what I've been avoiding, right? This is what I've been avoiding. And it's incredible when you start to really look at the power of that allowing, the power of that allowing, the power of allowing that in. It's incredible. So then what are we really saying here? What we're really saying is it's not the darkness that we're afraid of. What we're really saying is it's not the fear that we're afraid of. What we're really saying is it's not the rejection that we're afraid of. What we're really saying is it's the next level that we're afraid of. So all those moments when you said no to investment opportunities, maybe it's an investment in a new business, maybe it's an investment into yourself. You've said no because you've told yourself you're not ready, you don't have the funds, it's not the right time, your husband's going to judge you for spending the money, whatever it is. There's a moment of contemplation there, which is like, you know what? Let me take a step back. Is this really about what I think it's about? Or is this about the fact that I'm actually afraid of how much spaciousness is waiting for me, of how much expansion, of how much transformation, of how much money? We say we want more money, but why do you want more money? We say we want a bigger house, but why do you want a bigger house? We say we want all of these intentions, but why do we want these intentions? So it's doing a little bit of deeper excavation work, right? To really start to open yourself up, to face yourself, to get comfortable with conversations like this when they're fast. When I'm speaking really fast, you know, how can we get comfortable with the flow of energy moving through us and not let ourselves get stuck? So this is all of our journeys right now. This is all of our journeys right now. And it's powerful. It's so powerful. And these fears and blocks and everything, the shadows are all coming up so fast. And if you stay around me long enough, it will trigger you. You will feel triggered. You will feel uncomfortable. You will feel stretched. And I'm designed for that. I'm designed for that. You come into my field, instant transformation. I'm designed for that. It's why I've been facing my biggest fears, my biggest shadows, my biggest demons. I love that, Tams. I love it. It's why I've been on this journey. It's why I'm unafraid to face, because I want to support you to face everything that I've been facing, and I still continue to face. The thing is, you can't look at me, you can't put me on a pedestal, you can't think that I've got all of my SHIT together, because I don't. I don't. You and I, we're the same. I just maybe have a few more years of deep excavation work on you, but we're the same, right? We're the same. That's why it triggers you sometimes to hear me speak. That's why it triggers me sometimes to hear me speak, right? And so what am I here for? I'm here for to give you the biggest invitation to rise, not to step into your power. I don't believe in that. That's coaching speak. You are standing already in the seeds of your power. Now let's activate them. And it does require the dissolution of old identities, which is why my beautiful program, Extraordinary Power Immersion, is all about identity dissolution. And I'm going to teach you everything that I know about that. We're going to dissolve identity so friggin' quickly, which is why in Extraordinary Power Immersion, it kicks off with a 48-hour in-person opportunity to come into my energy, to be in my frequency of transformation. And it isn't easy work. If it was easy work, everyone would be doing it. But the fact is that you're a pioneer, you're an innovator like me. We have to own that we are, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. You'd be flicking through Instagram, you'd be, skimming through something else, you'd have checked out by now. This is not easy work. It's not comfortable work. It's not a walk in the park. It's not lying on a beach in the Maldives. You get that when you do the work, right? You get that when you do the work. There are very few people like me out there who are fully owning their field of transformation. There are very few people out there who are fully owning the work that they've done and fully going there and walking the walk and talking the talk. And you will feel the embodiment of my journey, because that's what I'm designed for. And you can go and spend £100 for a weekend with someone who's given you an experience, and it will be so surface level that you will not change. And you will come, unfortunately, to people like me and say, you know what, Jodie, I've been conned out of money so often in my life by coaches telling me they're going to fix everything and give me the opportunity to make a 7-figure month, and it hasn't worked out. And unfortunately, that exists now, which is very sad. Very, very sad. But is that not a lesson for you in trusting your own intuition and not allowing the ego to try and give you a quick fix because it wants to make $1 million this month, next month, the month after? When did we stop trusting ourselves? When did we stop listening to our intuition as women? If you want to know more about Extraordinary Power Immersion, you can send me a DM just telling me EP, or you can drop EP in the comments below. This is, I'm not even going to say change your life. It's going to change your life because it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than this. It's so much bigger than what I can possibly put into words. What is going to happen? This is like cataclysmic, whatever the word is. I am launching in Dubai. I'm launching in the US after that. I am on a mission, getting on as many stages, getting on as many podcasts, spreading this work because it's so important. And at some point through the work that we do in Extraordinary Power, I'm going to be handing the baton to you. I'm going to be training you to do this as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this has been absolutely incredible. And I hope that this has given you some absolute food for thought, but it's not enough just to take this in and not do anything with it. This is the problem about people in our world right now. There's so much content to consume, but then you don't do anything with it. You don't integrate it. You don't move forwards. You don't ask for the next steps. You don't immerse yourself in life-changing opportunities because of the fear. Because of the fear. But not you. Not now. This is your moment. This is your moment. So taking a really nice deep breath in, I'm sure that those of you that are stuck on long enough have felt a shift, or maybe a trigger, or maybe you're feeling uncomfortable. Maybe you want to shut down the Instagram because Jodie's too much, or whatever's going on. Be very aware of these stories that are coming up, trying to protect you from going to your next level. Be very aware of that. Be very, very aware of the old identity clinging on to control. Be very aware of the part of you that's afraid to dissolve your safety zone, your comfort zone, the you that's got you to this level right now, because the next level is scary. It's scary, really scary. The next level is like, you know, it's not really scary, promise you, but you think it's going to be scary. And this is the issue. This is the dilemma. This is the conflict. Okay, so drop EP in the comments. If you're watching on the replay, drop EP in the comments and tag me, and we will share with you some next steps. I know the level of transformation that you receive when you come into my energy. And I don't care if you sign up or not, because that's on you. I don't care if we move forwards or not, because that's on you. But I'm here and ready to support you, as is my team. As is my team. And I'm super, super excited to support you, because I know how much beauty and love and massive success is on the other side of that. So I'm super, super excited. If you're just watching, please watch the replay. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm here, sharing all my codes of transformation. And I'm telling you that even though it's hard, that even though there is pain at every level, that even though you really don't want to move forwards, and even though it's scary and anxiety provoking, and even though you're making yourself sick because of the resistance and the worry and the fear, and even though you're afraid of running out of money or whatever is going on for you, the growth behind that fear, the expansion behind that fear, the juiciness behind that fear is worth it. Let me tell you, it's all worth it. Would I change anything in my life so far? Absolutely not. Would I change any of the traumas that I went through when I was younger and as a teenager? Absolutely not, because everything has made me who I am today. And that sounds so friggin' cliche, but it's so true. It's so, so true. So I'm sending you so much love. And yeah, I'm super, super excited about your next step. The resistance is strong. It is. Once again, if you want to talk about the extraordinary power immersion for an entire identity dissolution, collapse, for your new identity to be birthed, this is how you get to the next level, by the way. It's not by following the next 7-figure strategy that someone's promising you. Then you can drop EP in the comments. Even if you think you're not ready, it's good to look at what's in offer for when you are ready. You could put it on your vision board if you have one. Okay, I'm sending you so much love and speak to you very, very soon. I'm also, if you're watching this live, I'm live tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time again. So I will see you there. Lots and lots of love.